Hello everybody and welcome. My name is Ketchup.
My name is Mustard.
And you are watching the ESL Premiership Roundup, powered by Windows 10 and Omen by HP.
So, after a long time coming, the group stages for CSGO have come to an end. We had two nail-biting sets between FM Esports and Fish123 and ESL versus Royals UK, in which could quite possibly be the biggest upset, I think, of the group stages so far.
Oh no, and no doubt about it. I don't think anyone expected the results that happened, but unfortunately, that's just the way things go for some teams. We're going to take an in-depth look over what actually happened in those matches.
In Game 1 of FM Esports versus Fish123, this was set to be an epic battle between two top teams with a win necessary to guarantee a trip to the finals. However, a loss for either team would leave them biting their fingernails and leaving their fates in the hands of ESL versus Royals. FM started strong on Mirage and left the Fish123 boys floundering, as Pulse would take heads and annihilate Fish on B in the final round before Frey snagged the final kill to win the first game for FM 16-6. But FM would continue to put the squeeze on Cobblestone. FM carried their momentum from Game 1 and snowballed an early lead, riding it all the way through to the end. The final result was 16-2 in FM's favour, an easy win for FM, and unfortunately at this stage, the Premiership future for Fish123 would now be in the hands of ESL.
The map, Dust 2. The teams, ESL versus Royals UK, and only a 2-0 in ESL's favour would secure them a spot in the Leicester finals. Sloppy play from ESL combined with fantastic composure from Royals would lead a back and forth game with Royals in the driving seat early. In round 20, a big 1 vs 3 eco win for Royals would start the momentum, with Crispian showing his skills with the Tech 9. Round 23 saw ESL controlling B in a 5 vs 3, with the round looking secure, but a whiffed AWP shot from Smooya let Royals push and plant the bomb. The tide would turn back in ESL's favour before Capers pulled off a miracle 1 vs 3 to bring the score 12-10 in Royals' favour. Royals had to eco for round 26, and a comeback seemed on the cards for ESL, but Jack sprays with the Tech 9 and takes out two members before rotating round to secure the 3k and setting up the final round for ESL. ESL would get completely rushed by Royals to snatch two frags immediately, and through a display of complete and utter chaos at the end, Capers would once again hold his own for his team, securing a 2v1 and taking the first map, snuffing any chance ESL had to the finals of the ESL Premiership. At this stage, the win mattered for neither team, with FM and Fish123 setting up a rematch in the finals. ESL would spend a lot of the second map going for obscure buys, but somehow still managed to secure the second map 16-13. Elsewhere in the Premiership, Endpoint were unable to field a roster and lost 2-0 to the Imperial. Infuse would also defeat Impulse with a convincing 2-0.
So, that brings us down to our final point, where our last two teams, through the grinding weeks of the group stages, are ready to face off against one another again. This is going to be FM Esports getting a rematch versus Fish123, who have now recently been picked up by M&M Gaming.
I think it's fantastic that these guys can finally represent that M&M brand, a very dominant team across multiple games in the season finals of the Premiership. Almost every single time we see M&M in there in some capacity, so it's great for those. However, I think there's no getting around this final week. In the final week 7, FM did clean house. It was an extremely dominant win for those guys. Although this is a run back, I think the fact that Fish lost so convincingly gives them a great chance now, from a dominant win, to study exactly what went wrong. Because with the amount of stuff that happened, you now have all these little different things that you can pick apart and refine your gameplay as much as possible, because this is the final week, this is the grand finals, it all matters here. And this brings me on to my next point, roster swaps.
True.
FM are going to be going in with probably the same team. M&M will be going in with some different members. It will not be the same roster they had in that final week 7. So that could actually play a massive factor here.
Well, also the fact that they're having, like I said before, it's a rematch game here, but they recently played, you know. They have fresh gameplay to reflect and see what changes they can make, as well as the fact that obviously this is going to be in a LAN setting. You then have, you know, a crowd watching, or just the fact that you're now there in person against your enemy team and you're with your partners, so that can affect people in a certain way. We're gonna have to wait and see, but regardless, this is gonna be a good finals. But that is it from us. Thank you very much for watching. This has been the ESL Premiership Roundup, powered by Windows 10 and Omen by HP. Tune into the finals this weekend and we'll see you there.